Hey everybody, it's Jen. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I have a project share for Saturday Morning Makes and for Sew in Love February. Both are hashtags that you can follow on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and different crafters come up with different projects for both of them. Satmornmakes is a hashtag from Jill Norwood. Hi Jill, if you are watching, and we just show things that we're working on Saturday mornings. And Sew in Love February is one that was started by Anna White. Hi Anna, if you're watching. And this is for projects that have a love or sewing theme in the month of February. So my project has both, so I thought I would hashtag them for both collaborations. So I'm going to go through the products that I used, and then I will show you what I made. So I did some embossing, some heat embossing, and I used my favorite gold embossing powder. This is from Ranger. I believe I got this at Michael's, either Michael's or Hobby Lobby. And I used my embossing ink pad. This is Versamark. I got this at Joann's. This is my favorite embossing ink pad. It just seems to work really well. I used some tea-dye Distress Oxide to do some inking and distressing around the edges of my card to make it look a little aged. I used Memento Tuxedo Black ink for my stamping because I was going to, I did some coloring with alcohol markers, so this kind does not bleed when you use alcohol markers. I used an eyelet from this set that I got from We Are Memory Keepers. I used a pink heart eyelet. I used this stamp for my project, and this is the first time that I've used this stamp set. It's from Honeybee Stamps. I think I got it from, I'm not quite sure, maybe Frantic Stamper. I don't know. If I can find it, I will link it down below, but it comes in two pieces. It's called So Special, and it has the sentiment, You're So Special, and the sewing machine. So perfect for Sew in Love February, I thought. I used a sentiment from this stamp set that I had gotten at Joann's, and it's called Hero Greetings, Messages for Card Making. And that's the number on the back. Got a little piece of tape or something. But I used the one, which one did I use? Oh, Handmade with Love by, and I used that on the back of my card. I used a few different paper pads. I used some paper from this one. This is from Kaisercraft, and it's called Miss Betty. It's a 6.5 inch paper pad. I love this paper pad, all the different pretty patterns, and I got this from Frantic Stamper. I don't believe it's in stock right now, but some of the single sheets are. I used some paper from My Favorite Things, and this one is the Petite Gingham 6x6 paper pad, also from Frantic Stamper. I used a paper from this pack from Paper Rose. It's called Country Quilt. I used a paper from this paper pad. This is a 6x8 pad from Jelly Bean Soup. It's an older one, All About Dots paper pad. And then for my card base, I used this paper. This is from Astro Brights. I got at either Walmart or Target, and it's a 65-pound weight cream paper. All right, I think that's pretty much everything. There are a couple other things on the card that I made that I didn't show, but I'll explain that when we get to it. Okay, so this is the card that I made, and as you can see, I used both stamps. For the You're So Special, I stamped it with the embossing ink and then sprinkled my embossing powder on it and heat set it with my heat tool. And I think it came out really nice. I used some of the paper from that Kaisercraft paper pad. This is like a very subtle sewing pattern paper, so I thought it was a good background for this. The tag die that I used for this is from Andy's store on AliExpress, and I will try and link that down below as well. The sewing machine stamp, this is the first time I ever paper pieced a stamp, and Jill had explained how to do that. So thank you, Jill. I had never thought to do that before. So I thought this would be a good one to try because it has very basic shapes, just a couple of little things that I paper pieced. So I stamped it out onto the gingham paper as well as the plain white paper. And then I just fussy cut out these two parts and then just glued them on top of the white sewing machine that I had stamped out. And then I did a little coloring with some alcohol markers, and I think that came out really nice. For the squares, I used a die set that I had gotten from AliExpress in my stash, and it's a nesting die set. So I had the smaller one, and then I had this one as well. So I used both sizes. The stitches paper is from that Kaiser Craft Miss Betty collection, and I thought it went really well with the sewing theme of this card. There's the eyelet that I used on the tag. I used a piece of twine that I think I'd gotten at Walmart, and just to tie it off on the top. For the ribbon, this is ribbon I got at Hobby Lobby in one of their ribbon bundles, and I just cut out 2 pieces, wrapped it around the top layers of the card, and used some Fabri-Tac to attach them. And these are buttons I had in my stash, and I used a little bit of just like thick thread to go through the buttons to make it look like they're sewn on, but they're really just hot glued on. There's that polka dot paper that one is from the Country Quilt collection. The one inside is from the Jelly Bean Soup one. I did the inking along the edges of the tag and the different layers of the card just to make it look a little distressed and a little aged. So yeah, and the card base, I think the color goes really nicely, kind of ties everything together, the creams and, just like the vintage look of it. The inside, I actually did do a little something to it. I don't usually right away, but I had this pretty squared tag die, or not tag die, but just die in my stash that's got some stitching on the edges. So I just cut out this piece from Jelly Bean Soup, and I thought you could still write over it with black ink and you'd be able to see it. This is a little tag from the LOTV shop on Etsy, Lily of the Valley, that I had, it's a digital file, so I just used that one, so sweet, and I used an enamel dot on the top of that just to add a little accent. On the back, I just used I have a custom stamp, and then that's where I used the Hero Art stamp. And it didn't stamp perfectly, but I figured, well, that kind of goes with the handmade feel of the card. So yeah, that's my card for today, this Saturday. I hope you guys like it. I'd love to know what you think. Please leave me a comment down below. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, I'd love it if you'd subscribe. I have lots of crafty videos, and I'm also on Instagram, strawberrycream39 as well. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back soon with another crafty video. Thanks, guys. Bye.